Well, I'm going to stick on the same subject,
Mm.
same word picture,
Mhm.
testing 2 to 3 weeks time, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, pedestrian crossings, use signals by indicator only, yeah?
Mhm.
And see if you can just make the adjustments that you need to make, yeah?
Alright.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
And remember, the examiner's not going to tell me there's a crossing coming up.
Yeah. Okay.
It's what do you see ahead, Tony?
Yeah. Okay.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
That clear in your mind?
Yes.
Right.
So do you want us to do introductions, or are we just
No,
going?
let's just go from where we were.
So Tony, when we set off here, if we need, if we've got a car behind us, what may we need to consider to do?
I'd wait.
Yeah. Okay. Might it be necessary to put a signal on?
Well, I've got a car coming up behind me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not putting that in front of that car, am I?
Okay.
Why should I signal?
If there's a, if signal if there was a need to do so, yes.
Just below there. You've opened a bit of a can of worms there, so you're going to have to sort it out, yeah?
Okay.
Right, so just explain that to me.
Okay, so when you're pulling out from the side of the road,
Yeah.
if there was a car coming up the road,
No, hang on. Can we just put a camera and make that very clear?
Mhm.
The car is coming up behind me, yeah?
Mhm.
What should I do?
Well, if you're going to pull out, then you may need to put a signal on to let the car know that you're pulling out from the side of the road.
Right, so if I was driving up behind that maroon car ahead,
Mm.
and he put a signal on as I approached up behind him,
Mm.
what might I think he's going to do?
Turn into a junction.
No, what might I think he's going to do?
Pull out.
Yeah. So if he didn't put a signal on,
Mm. You wouldn't know he's necessarily going to pull out. So if in that situation you've got a car coming round into the junction, you're going to put a signal on.
so let's just say I come up behind that maroon car again,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
and he puts a signal on,
Mhm.
and I decide, oh, he might pull it in front of me, so I'll slow down and let him go.
Yeah.
How would that go down on the test?
Well, you're going to check your mirrors and see what's behind you, and
Yeah, I have done, and I see a car coming up behind me,
Mm.
and I stick a signal on, and the car coming up behind me decides to slow down and flash me and let me out. How would that go down on the test?
okay, so you're causing
I'm not going to pull out in front of that car, am I?
yeah, all right, okay, yeah.
So why would
you're
I
going to
signal?
wait, okay. I'll
Yeah,
take it
yeah,
all back, rewind.
Yeah, the only time I'd have to signal to pull away
Mhm.
is anybody coming towards me, anybody sitting in these parked cars, or
Right,
any
yeah.
pedestrian walking
Okay.
walking ahead of me. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I certainly would have no reason to signal if I've got a car coming up behind me, because I've got no intention of pulling out in front of that car,
Yeah,
am I?
okay.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Start. Okay, Tony, you don't need to indicate when you come round a parked car. Why don't you need to indicate when you come round a parked car?
I'm just letting them know that I'm moving out. I'm just letting them know that I was moving out.
Well, you don't need to do your road position will let you
I'm
know.
turning
Let them know.
left.
And you take the next turning on the left. Just there, Tony. You need to put that indicator on sooner. When you put your indicator on late there, car behind won't know what you're doing. So you're going to put your signal
Stop
on.
the left here again.
Yeah, I'm telling.
Yeah, we've got to get this analysation worked out, haven't we?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, You just about caught me on the indicator there.
Yeah.
At the ground of parked car, yeah?
Mhm.
So my hand on the indicator.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I should have said to you, why is it important that you don't indicate turning around
Yeah.
a parked car?
Yeah, then I indicated too late for the turning, yeah?
Mhm.
And you're coming in and telling me, yeah? You don't know which bit I don't understand, do you?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
So I need to say, why is it important, Tony? Why is it, you put your indicator on too late there, Tony? Why is it important that you make sure you put your indicator on 6 to 8 car lengths away from the junction?
well, they're still telling me, innit?
Okay. So you put your indicator.
So how far back from the junction should you indicate, Tony?
Okay. So how far back from a junction should you indicate, Tony?
Oh, normally about 6 to 8 car lengths.
Okay. And why would you indicate 6 to 8
To
car
give
lengths?
people around me time to react.
Okay. And what's the danger of putting your indicator on too soon or too late?
Well, people around me wouldn't have time to react and they panic.
Mhm. Okay. So when we come up to the next junction, then I'll help you put help you to make sure you put your indicator on the right time.
Turning left.
At the next junction, we're going to turn left. So I'm going to put our indicator on about now, Tony, 6 to 8 car lengths away from the
Oh, right,
junction.
that's 6 to 8 car.
And why are we putting that indicator on 6 to 8 car lengths
To
away
give
from
people
the
time to
junction?
react, Sue. So keep going.
So, and if you didn't put your indicator on soon enough, then what would happen?
Well, the people around me wouldn't have time to react, would they?
Yeah, so it's important, isn't
And
it?
what would happen?
And what would the consequences be if you didn't put your indicator on?
And they might panic. And brake sharply or something.
Yeah, okay.
And would you always put your indicator on 6 to 8 car lengths?
Oh, yeah. Would you always put your indicator on 6 to 8 car lengths away,
Oh
Tony?
no, sometimes I delay it.
And why would you delay it?
There could be a junction just before the one I'm going to take.
Yes, okay. And if you put it on too soon, what would the car behind think you're doing?
Well, there's the car. There could be a car pulling out that junction I'm not taking.
Okay.
And we're going to turn left.
Going to take the next turning on the left, please. So as we come into the new road, Tony, we need to look to see if there's anything we need to consider from a crossing
Oh, I
point
see a
of view.
crossing between those vehicles.
Okay. So what is the first place we're going to look when we come
At
up
the
to the
mirror.
crossing? And why are we looking in that mirror?
Slow down here so you can see.
So on approach to that crossing, why are we checking our mirror?
Oh, see, this is the speed of the vehicle behind me.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn left.
I'd like you to turn left. So just going back to that zebra crossing, Tony, you'd slow down there to come across the zebra. Why was it important to slow down as you came across that zebra?
Oh, the broken down van, and there's an RAC van in front of it. And I couldn't see if there was a pedestrian standing there or not.
Yeah. And what if we had the pedestrian can't see either? So shut up! I'm just making it worse.
Well, carry on.
So if we'd got a pedestrian there and they'd started to cross the zebra, would you wave them across?
No.
Why wouldn't you wave them across?
Dangerous. Might get run out by a vehicle come the opposite way.
That's right. Okay. So where are we going to indicate when we get to this
Right.
junction? So it's at the end
About
of the
6 to
road.
8 car lengths.
Okay. So how would we know on approach to a zebra crossing? We've got the black and white beacons, black and white poles and the beacons. But what else can we pick up to know that we've got a crossing? So a pedestrian crossing or controlled crossing?
Oh, could have a road sign.
Okay. And what else might we have from from the road on the road?
Oh, zigzag lights.
Yeah. Okay. And on those zigzag lines, we mustn't park. And what else mustn't we do?
Oh, overtake.
Yeah. And why mustn't we overtake?
Because the pedestrian standing at the crossing wouldn't see me.
So we've got, looking ahead now, Tony. What have we got here?
Oh, it's a light control crossing.
And where do we need to look when we come
Ah,
out?
the mirrors.
Yeah. And why are we checking those mirrors?
See, this is the speed of the vehicles behind me.
Okay. And if that had been a pelican crossing, a flashing amber light, what would we need to take into account there? flashing amber light and we had
So you mean if the flashing amber was on?
yeah, if the flashing amber was on, what would we need to think about in that situation?
Oh God, the crossing was clear.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to make sure there's no pedestrians about to cross it, aren't we? So looking ahead now, we've got what road sign have we got and what do we need to
school sign.
consider? And what might there be?
There could be school children, lollipop lady about.
Yeah, okay. So on the light control crossings, we've got we've talked about a Pelican. What other crossing have we got?
Oh, puffin.
Yeah, and what light sequence is it on a puffin crossing?
Traffic lights.
Okay. And on the puffin crossing, what's different about a puffin crossing to normal traffic lights?
They're controlled by sensors.
Yes. And what does that sensor do?
Changes the lights.
And why does it change the lights? What's the benefit of the lights? The difference in the light changing?
It doesn't hold the traffic up any longer than necessary.
Okay. Okay, and looking ahead now, what have we got in the distance that we need to think about?
I see those pollution beacons.
Yeah. So where are we going to check?
The mirrors.
Okay. And on approach to the zebra, what are we going to do?
I'm going to scan.
Scan. And what else are we going to do? If we've got a pedestrian about to cross.
I haven't.
Okay. But if we had.
I'll stop.
Yeah.
Turning right.
I'd like you to take the next turning on the right.
Yeah, stopping in the zigzags, aren't I?
Are you going to? No, you're not going to stop in the zigzags, are you? You're going to stop. Where are you going to stop?
Well, somewhere within the zigzags, isn't it?
You're going to stop actually up to the line, aren't you?
Turning right.
You're going to take the next turning on the right. And on approach to that zebra crossing, when you come up to the line, looking ahead now, Tony, we've got a crossing here.
See that near side there.
Okay. You see the giveaway line here, the dotted giveaway line. On a zebra crossing, it's a giveaway line. What is it on a light control crossing?
Stop line.
Okay. So when we come up to a zebra or we come up to a controlled light, if we have to stop, what are we going to do when we come up to that crossing? What's important that we must do with our car if we have to stop?
I'll check the mirrors.
Yeah. Are we going to put our handbrake on?
Yeah.
And why are we going to put our handbrake on?
Okay, the car behind runs into me.
Yeah. And what will happen if the car runs into you if we haven't got our handbrake on?
Push me forward.
And then what's going to happen in that instance? If we've got somebody crossing.
They push me into the pedestrian.
Yeah.
Turning left.
Okay, I'm going to take the next turning on the left, please.
And turning right.
I'd like you to take the next turning on the right, please. Tony, your indicator's not on. Pop your indicator back on for me. It's really important that you make sure the indicators are on, and sometimes they self-cancel. Why is it important that you make sure the indicator's on?
As people know where I'm going.
Okay.
And turning right.
I'd like you to take the next turning on the right, please. Okay, make sure that indicator's on, Tony. The indicators come off again. So just remind me how far away we're going to be when you put your indicator on,
6, 7 car lengths.
and why is it important it's 6 to 7 car lengths away?
If you've got time to react.
would you know that your indicator had switched itself off?
It's very quiet in this one. I thought I was hearing.
Okay, what else might you be able to see?
Not too sure.
You'd have the lights, wouldn't you, on the dashboard? If the indicator
right.
had turned itself off,
Okay,
the lights would
yeah.
be turned off as well. So we can use if we can hear it if it's switched off, or if you've got your radio on and you can't hear the sound, you can actually see the lights tell you that it's not working.
And turning right.
I'd like you to take the next turning on the right, please.
Oh yeah, I see lights. Yeah.
Okay. If you think about it also, Tony, if you're turning right, your indicator's going to go on the same way as your wheel's turning, isn't it? So if you're turning right,
Oh yeah, I always indicate the right way, don't I? And turning right.
I'd like you to take the next turning on the right, please. Keep going, because when you slow down, the pedestrian may cross across the road.
And turning right.
I'd like you to turn right here, please.
I didn't wave them though, did
No,
I?
you didn't, but slowing down, the pedestrian may pick up that you're letting him cross by slowing down. And he may not be looking, and the car might be coming down the road and may hit him. So can you see how important...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So just we just missed that crossing there. So just
I didn't see that one,
speed
sorry.
on approach. Why is it important when you approach a crossing that you approach it at the appropriate speed?
So I can stop.
And if you approach the crossing and you were going too quickly and a pedestrian crossed the crossing and you had to put your brakes on very quickly, what might happen in that situation?
Oh, the car behind might hit me.
Yeah, and what would happen if the car behind hit you?
Push me onto the crossing.
You see how important it is that you're scanning the road and picking up the pedestrian crossings and travelling at the appropriate speed.
But if you're approaching it, a zebra crossing and you don't see the pedestrian standing there, there's no harm speeding up, is there?
No, because you've got to on a pedestrian crossing. For example, if we have a zebra crossing and an alleyway, you can't see who's coming towards the pedestrian crossing. So if they come down the alleyway and onto the crossing, they're going to be there before you've got an opportunity to slow down.
Oh
so
yeah,
you're
but
going
they'd stop and look first, wouldn't they?
No, not necessarily. They might have music in their ears. They might just be, they might not be concentrating. Just go straight onto the zebra without looking. So it's really important that you take into account scanning the zebra and travelling up to the zebra at the appropriate speed.
Yeah, most normal people wouldn't do silly things like that, would they?
Oh, they would.
I used to do silly things like that when I was a child.
Yeah, well, a small child might just run across the zebra crossing without thinking. If mum's not concentrating and they sort of break loose, they might run across the zebra crossing without looking. So it's really important that you're able to scan ahead, see the crossing, and take into account, start to slow down to take into account the crossing.
Okay.
So if you've gone to do that and you're going to you see the crossing up ahead and you're starting to slow down, where are you going to look first as you do that?
Oh, in the mirrors.
And why?
Just to get distance speed of the vehicle behind me.
Yeah, okay. you got a refuge, a central refuge in the middle of the road, what do you need to do in that situation? The pedestrians stood in the central reservation, in the refuge in the middle of the road.
I'll just keep going.
Yeah, but what else? They don't have the right of way to cross, but what would you do in that situation?
Just keep going.
Okay. Would you just, well, obviously you've got to register that you've got pedestrians there, so...
I'll make eye contact with them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's sometimes better though to, if you've got pedestrians dodgering around who don't know what they're doing, my wife says it's better just get rid of them.
If they're stood on...
Anywhere, just get them out of the way. You know what they're doing then.
But if they're not reading the road properly and you continue to go up ahead, they're going to panic, aren't they?
No, they're dodgering around, they're on their... They got their iPhones or their iPads or everything stuck in their ear there. You don't know whether they're going to cross or whether they're not going to cross. Just better just get rid of them, innit?
But if they've actually stepped onto the crossing, they have the right of way.
I'm talking about the ones outside the crossings.
Well, you've got to really keep an eye. You've got to make contact. Well, you've got to scan the crossing and see what they're going to do. And if they've got music in their ears, they're not necessarily going to look up and down the road to see what's going on. So you've got to be very careful because they may perhaps step onto the crossing. And then
No, I'm talking about pedestrians anywhere.
Pedestrians anywhere.
They don't only cross the crossings, do they?
Well, what you're going to do in that situation with pedestrians is you're going to make eye contact with them to see what they're planning to do. They're not always just focusing on what they're doing, and they may step out across the road. So it's really important that you're scanning the road and making eye contact with them. If they've stepped onto the road, then you're going to let them go.